Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Prepared. Hunter Biden, he's at it again. This time, a 9-count federal indictment. Hunter Biden was charged in California Thursday with tax crimes. California charging him with tax crimes. Now, it's interesting because the corporate media has been reporting this widely. And what I've always said is, if the corporate media is on the same sheet of music, despite the initial political optic, why is that? Now, you should probably ask yourself, more importantly, why is California charging Hunter Biden with 9 counts, including engaging in a 4-year scheme to not pay at least $1.4 million in federal income taxes for the years 2016 through 19? I mean, it's been said that if this was anybody else that had a different last name, this would not be brought forward in charges. And I buy into that a little bit, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who fall into this category, but you are the president's son. So I expect you to be held to a higher accountability. But here's the deal. We just heard a debate between Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Now, if you're the governor of California and you have you're a prospect, I guess at least in your own head, for running for president of the United States, and the front runner, which is Joe Biden, says, I'm not going to give up that position, don't you think it's a little bit awkward? I mean, look, I haven't even heard it on what I would call right-wing talk radio or right-wing media, period, that this is even a thing that's being deliberately done. Like, if you're California, you're not going after anybody who's a Democrat, period. And so why would they go after Hunter Biden now? Well, if they wanted to hurt Hunter Biden and potentially affect Joe Biden's run for president of the United States, then this is how you would do it. Look, let me read you some of the details of this charge. During a period from 2016 through October 15th of 2020, he received over $7 million in total gross income, according to the indictment. The indictment charges him with failure to file and pay taxes, evasion of assessment and filing a false or fraudulent tax return. Instead of paying the taxes, he alleged to have spent that income on personal items ranging from a Lamborghini rental. That's funny, a Lamborghini rental. Luxury hotels, and escort services. Many of these purchases, the government says, were classified by Hunter Biden as business expenses. You know, if you're trying to floss a little bit and you don't get the money and you need to floss a lot, you pay for it. That's an expense. I get that. I completely get that. Let's read through some of the things that he spent the money on. A handy table breaks down the first son's expenditures over the same period, indicates he took out $1.6 million from ATMs and cash machines alone. Dude, I cannot get $500 out of ATM machines without bouncing to 5 different ATMs when I'm trying to withdraw money from USAA. USAA sucks at that because it's a federal savings institution, and they like to save their money by saving yours and denying access to it. So how he got $1.6 million out of ATM machines is beyond me. But an average of $1,100 he was spending each day, and $683,000 he spent on various women. Various women. I assume that's escort services. But, dude, $397,000 was splashed on clothing and accessories, and $188,960 in adult entertainment. I mean, guy, porn is free. Like, you could just actually Google anything you want, and he's paying nearly $200,000 in adult entertainment. I imagine that's a subscription to something, OnlyFans maybe. While cash cannot be tracked easily with a paper trail, on Hunter's abandoned laptop, which didn't exist, by the way, some of the evidence that was brought to this case for a federal indictment by the state of California says that between $800 and $2,000 per transaction from his Wells Fargo checking account were removed which means that they were trying to mask the removal of such account charges because they knew at some point it was going to be seen. Why does the federal government, why does the state of California care so much? Well, because it's doing a couple things. One, we have right now an impeachment inquiry, and we have moderates in the House that aren't on board with that inquiry. Why would that be? Because hardline GOPers want the impeachment to go down. The moderates don't. Well, let me just lay out a scenario for you. If President Joe Biden is involved in this, which he will be, I mean, I'm tracking here via a very specific website that lines out in detail James Comer's position, who is the House Committee on Oversight, every single nuance and detail of Joe Biden's involvement, including direct deposits from Hunter Biden's corporation into Joe Biden's personal account. Like, that's evidence. That's clear-cut evidence. When you have the liberal media for the first time ever jumping on the bandwagon, it's a great indication that hardline GOPers are going to go, this guy needs to be impeached. But what are we setting ourselves up for? Can you imagine a scenario where Joe Biden is impeached, Joe Biden's name, which will be more involved in this as this investigation goes down and these 9 counts are brought to trial? I mean, I'm staring at a check that was written to Joe Biden for $40,000 that, according to James Comer, was laundered Chinese money from the account of his brother James Biden and his sister-in-law Sarah Biden in the form of a personal check. You could access all this information on the oversight.house.gov account, which I'll link down below. So imagine that if you don't want somebody to run for president of the United States because you think he's a liability and he's basically losing, he's losing in every single poll, guys. Trump, after they said, we're going to go after him and we're going to destroy his ability to run for president, it's backfired. He's leading in every single poll. Well, now you need the great savior. And who's that going to be? Michelle Obama. Because if Michelle Obama comes forward and says, based on all the conflict, all the drama that's going on surrounding Joe Biden, I will put my name in the hat and I will run for president of the United States. Or Gavin Newsom says, look, we did the right thing. Now he's on the debate stage. Hell, he doesn't even need to be on the debate stage. He just needs the talking point. We did the right thing because we went after corruption. Joe Biden was corrupt. I'm the great savior. I will save this country leading forward. That's what's going to happen. All of these things, by the way, have come to fruition in the last 2 weeks. What's happening very soon? Well, each of the parties have to declare their candidate for president of the United States. And that's going to happen very, very soon. So if the national media is reporting on it, if the state of California is going after it, if there's a federal indictments, including 9 counts that ties Joe Biden, there is going to be the Trump card. That's not even being facetious. There's going to be a Trump card, and it's not going to be Trump. It's going to be Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama. Let me read some details of this James Comer reveal. Hunter Biden wired $150,000 to Lion Hall Group, a company owned by Joe Biden's brother James and sister-in-law Sarah Biden. Sarah Biden then withdrew $50,000 in cash from Lion Hall. Later the same day, she deposited it into her and James Biden's personal checking account. A few days later, Sarah Biden cut a check to Joe Biden for $40,000. The memo line of credit said loan repayment. We previously exposed a $200,000 payment James made to his brother Joe that came from funds provided by now bankrupt healthcare company called AmeriCorps. These are all the details that are going to be lined out in the 9 charges that Hunter Biden was just indicted on. All of this will become public, and soon you will know all the details and nuances. And that is why companies like MSNBC, CNN, the list goes on. I can name them all. There's too many to list. Are jumping on this and saying Joe Biden lied. Because every single thing he said was a lie. He did have dealings with his son. He did talk to associates that were related to his business dealings with his son. He did receive money from his son. And that's all going to be detailed in this indictment. So expect to see more from this shit show. Over the weekend, we did a CQB course focused on home defense and close quarters battle, which I was very surprised at how amazing the overall experience was for the instructors, me, Greg Lappin, and John Park, and also the students. We had the ability to do stress inoculation using the jiu-jitsu mats, and our professor in black belt, Greg Lappin, who pummeled the students for at least a minute to elevate their heart rate, pick up their carbine made by Unit Solutions, which I have to say is a sidebar. Unit Solutions doesn't pay us anything. What I'll tell you is Unit Solutions M4 that we used the entire weekend, for the exception of one particular weapon system that I think had 8mm balls jammed up in the barrel, every single one of them performed epically because they were able to do all of the muzzle flip, kick, all the feel from having a CO2 cartridge in the magazine with 30 rounds, not 200 rounds like an airsoft gun, and get through the scenarios safely. Also, liability-wise, we were able to shoot live role players with minimal damage. I can't say the same for simunitions, which is used by the military, and there's a time and place for that. But when it comes to civilian training, we need something a little bit safer, but also realistic, and the Unit Solutions definitely performed. I hope to have, I'll probably talk to my guys today about carrying that Unit Solutions setup and system inside of my pro shop, because you can order it online and have it delivered to your home, I think, for the exception of California. If you come in here from California, I will sell it to you, and then you can take it across the border. I don't know if I should leave that in, but I'm going to say it because I don't think that's illegal. Also, I want to say big shout out to everybody who supported the Fieldcraft Survival Montana Knife Company knife. Guys, there's a lot of frustration with American-made products. I get it as a consumer, but I also understand it from running a business. Some of the things that we're doing, like bringing Origin on board because they're made in America, and I want to do more things that are tethered to supporting America. Also, I understand the dilemma that Josh Smith is in because he has a high demand signal and can only provide so much supply. He now has knives in stock. Because of your support for Prepared and also Mike Force, you guys could use MF10 to save 10% on checkout. Also, I want to mention, because of your support, Mike Force is rated in the top 50 of all podcasts in society and culture on Spotify. And that's because of you. That's not because of us. That's because of you. What's going on here in the near future? We just did Mike's Prepared sale. I couldn't say it online because it would be taken down if I showed it. There is one lucky winner who's got the golden ticket, which is actually a blue sticky note, inside of your book, because if you spent $100 or more prior or during that day of the sale, if you got the lucky ticket, you will get one of my personally owned BCMs, and that's just a way of saying thank you. That sale was so successful, I'm going to try to convince my director of marketing to do it again, hopefully this Friday, because it will be the last Friday that you can get anything that we sell on the website in time for Christmas. Now, if you're getting it for yourself after Christmas, post-Christmas, get it whenever. But I think I'm going to do that again, where we'll leave one copy of Prepared autographed with a special golden ticket, likely a sticky note, that will lead you to one more of my BCMs. That's all I can afford because I only have 3 BCMs. 2 of them I'm giving up for this particular deal. And I just made that up. My director of marketing is probably listening to this next door going, damn it, Mike. I just made that up. But we're going to do that likely again. Stay tuned for that at fieldcraftsurvival.com. We'll do it on Friday. I'll launch it through all my social media and all the things that we do. Guys, let me know what you think about in the comments below about this whole situation, because I'm interested if you're on board, if you think this is a play, and also hearing about your potential conspiracy theories that are likely to come true in 2024, because that's what they do. Conspiracy theories now are just facts. Lastly, Andy Stumpf will be here this weekend. We'll be doing an episode of Focal Point. If you haven't seen it, Focal Point's being covered on Mike Glover Actual, this particular channel. If you like it, make sure you watch. Make sure you subscribe to the Focal Point channel. Also, I'm podcasting Andy Stumpf for the Mike Force podcast. It's like the first time I've ever podcasted Andy Stumpf, which is weird. Like we've talked a lot, but I've never actually asked him questions specifically about things that I'm interested in, like the time he got shot, or the cars I detail, or things that he'd been through in his career, his transition. We're going to do that on the Mike Force podcast. Stay tuned. Till next time. Peace out, guys. Oh, I'm off to the underground. John, we're off to the underground, right? Yeah, we're off to the underground. Thanks to my Patreon supporters. My Patreons make this channel happen, and we're doing the underground right now. Later, guys.